Hello everyone, my name is Akai Fox and this is another art video. In today's video I'm making a very special design as I add our fourth sticker to our Sticker of the Month Club. And although I am making this in April, it is for my May birthday. I wanted a design that felt very much like a birthday sticker, and birthdays are kind of the common theme for my family in May. All of the girls in my family are born in the month of May. We ironically have very interesting and almost eerie spacing when it comes to the time and the dates and the decades that we're all spaced out with as far as all the girls in my family. And then my husband also happens to have a May birthday, so May is very much the birthday month for me. Now I wanted to make a design here that I could share with everybody to eventually have on my channel as well as an emote, not just a sticker or a design that we put on things. Now an emote, if you're not familiar with that, in the Twitch world is kind of like having custom sets of emojis. Think like your smiley faces and wink faces, but instead of having those yellow circles, you can make whatever you want. And so I do have plans to use this design as a command where if you say, exclamation mark birthday or exclamation mark B-Day, that this image would show up along with my little gift emote as kind of a happy birthday. And I might even add like a little sound effect or something like that. I'm very excited this year to be sharing this because I get to let people know the inside joke I share all the time in my channel with that 21. When people ask me how old I am, I quite often joke and laugh and say, well, I'm just 21 plus shipping and handling. And so I thought it so fitting to add the 21 on top of the cake itself to say, hey, it's that forever 21 birthday because we're all just 21 plus shipping and handling. And so that's what we're adding in here. Now, as I outline our little fox here, I went back and forth quite a bit on whether or not I keep the lettering of happy birthday or whether I keep the frosting of the cake. As with both on top of each other, it felt a little busy and a little hard to read. Ultimately, I started with the lettering as I really liked the concept of having it say happy birthday in a way that people could hopefully read it even though it's really small. And what I finally ended up doing was keeping the frosting anyway and just making it a little bit more neutral, a little more legible. Now I did use a larger brush than I normally use on some of these designs, and because of that it meant that there was a little bit more cleanup than there normally is, which ended up taking quite a bit much more time of the night that I was prepared for. But it just meant that went in with a lot more of the eraser tool and a smaller brush, and it allowed me to finesse and to try and stretch those letters. Since I wasn't using a text tool, I was hand drawing all of these letters to make them kind of wrap around the cake as best that I could. Now the colors I ended up using with this cake ended up being a little bit more of a nod towards a chocolate cake, as I used kind of that brown and a little bit more of a beige kind of cream topping. One, to make it more neutral, and two, it made me think that quite often many of my birthday cakes growing up were a chocolate cake that we called a score cake. Now, if you're not familiar with what a score bar is, it's a Heath bar, think like a toffee bar that's been dipped in chocolate. And the reason it's called a score cake is because those bars are then crushed on top of the cake. It's a German chocolate cake, so it's a very rich cake. You use I think it's called German frosting, but it's the one that's got like little bits of coconut, and I think it's got like sliced pecans or almonds, or I think it's almonds. Anyway, so you've got that frosting. Then you add pudding, chocolate pudding on top. You add whipped cream on top of that. And then you drizzle chocolate syrup, caramel syrup, and then crush the score bars. I've been told it's very similar to like a poke cake with the pudding there. It's a very rich cake, and so that's what this reminded me of, and something that I thought would be fun, and a very neutral type color to use in the cake itself. Now, as far as the lettering goes, I didn't necessarily want to do pinks or purples, as I don't think that many, it's not something for everyone, right? Whereas a dark blue kind of also has somewhat of those colors assigned to specific genders, and I wanted this to feel like a very neutral approach to anybody's cake. And so I went with more of a teal type color, as to me, when you look at birthday candles, many of them are those teal stripes with the white, and I just felt like it all meshed really well together. So I did make the 21 candles. I wasn't sure if I was just going to keep them as the numbers or keep them as candles, but felt like it just brought a lot more balance rather than just having the 2 candles on either end. And of course, just blending and blurring in those flames itself. And then I just go in, add a whole bunch of shadows. I just defaulted to the kind of your normal shadows for this. I didn't want to try to play with lighting too much or make it too dark, and so I just wanted it something very legible in any circumstance, because I do have plans to put this on probably some merchandise, definitely stickers, of course, since this is our 4th sticker of the month installment. And overall, just very excited to share my birthday with all of you. I will be doing a birthday bash the 1st and 2nd, so hope to see you guys all there. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.